quick tip. I want to go over what this March might look like. And I almost said May because I said March may look like. March is started. Today is the first day. We go from heroes to zeros. So I want to take a peek. I want to have you guys take a peek at some of these trends that we have. And in the meantime, I'm trying to pull up Facebook in case we hold on one second here. I'm going to start this all over. Hold on one second. I think we're going live now. Let me try this. Again, I was trying to get Facebook Live up and going. Let me see if it's gone. And let me do this one more time. So there we go. So now we got Facebook Live going. All right. So if anybody's commenting, or I'm on LinkedIn Live too. We got YouTube going. NADA is just in a week or so, week and a half. And that's going to be exciting. First time there. So let's go over a few things. I'm actually going to share my screen because I want to see what March is going to look like based on last year. And here's some reasons why. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen on the left here. Let's go there and let's go now. All right. So the reason why I want to look at this year to last year is last year also the government delayed tax returns. Okay. So you've seen me share this screen before, and I could do it past 5 years, but pretty much over the last 5 years, and you can go back to 2004, the shopper activity for people looking for used cars, we're looking at Google here, and is in that February range. Mid-February, that activity spikes pretty much every year. And up until last year in February, was going up until 2020 when COVID shutdown happened. And then last year actually kicked into March because, again, I believe it was a delayed return from the tax season. So we're going into a kind of a similar setup. There will be a little bit of a delay. Now, last year, the index was at 81 and we're at 77. So it's a little bit lighter activity-wise than last year. But here's also where I want to show you. So March activity picked up mid-March, okay? And then, of course, it drops down going into the spring. One of the things that we track is our 2 weeks percentage sold for our dealerships. Again, it doesn't matter if they sell 30 cars or 100 cars. What percentage of that inventory are they selling in 2 weeks? I want our dealers to sell 50% in 2 weeks, so they sell 100% of their inventory in 4 weeks. Here we are as of today, looking at the last 2 weeks on average, the dealers were tracking in our system 46% of what they sold 46% of their inventory in the last 2 weeks. Let's see how that compares to last year. We go into 2020. This time last year, they were running at about 48, 49%. So pretty darn close, right? But you can see just about the same takeoff. But notice where the peak is, March 30th. Okay. Now on March 30th, we're looking 2 weeks back. That goes to March 15th to March 30th. So the second half of March picked up, just like a lot of dealers are seeing the second half of February kind of picked up. But then notice by the drop off by April 15th or 16th here, it drops back down to 48%, kind of like where we're at right now. Again, that's looking 2 weeks back. That's looking from April 1st to the middle of April, things started slowing down. Okay. Now, so what I'm here to tell you is just think about that. If that pattern happens again, we have this peak. It's really only for 30 days, right? It started right at March and it ended in March, and then it started slowing down since then. Now that's, again, looking at all of our dealerships. You take that into consideration of the shopper count. It's mid-March, it really picked up, but then by mid-April, the activity drops from 96 down to 77. That's about a 20% drop in shopper activities there. Okay. So whatever you're buying today and whatever you own this week will be aged, right? At the end of April. So if things start slowing down the first half, second half of April, whatever you're buying today, because you might want to hold, on that car, try to make some money as this tax season buyers start to maybe popping into your dealership and you don't want to give away anything you're owning this week will be aged by the end of April going into May. And as you see that activity drops off, our percentage sold drops back down pretty well into May. And getting into a regular selling season in about June. And then, so just be prepared for that. Here's the other differences from this year to last year. Okay. This is Car Global, okay, which owned Odessa and a lot of that other data. They've kind of hit the headlines, but they looked at retail used vehicle inventory by age. Okay. So if you look at this time last year, there was an equal amount of 1 to 3-year-old cars as there was to 11+-year-old cars, and 6 to 10-year-old cars, and 4 to 5-year-old. Pretty much there's just a hodgepodge of aged inventory out there. I mean, the age being the age of the vehicle, 10-year-old car, 5-year-old car. We tend to see that tax season buyers, a lot of them are that 20 grand or less, so that $400 shopper. And last year they had a lot to choose from. Did they want to upgrade to a later model? Did they want something older, $10,000 or less? Those cars aren't existing anymore. And if you look at the index now, the 1 to 3-year-old car, okay, those late models, they're in abundance. That's why the average retail price out there is like 29 grand for used cars. Okay. So you're talking, if 100's the average, 72% increase in that listings for those cars that are, the newer models. Anything 4 to 5 years, 73%. So the 73. So that's a good 25% drop in inventory levels for them. So the big difference between here, shopper activity was looking pretty similar to last year, right? The uptick in what we're seeing in sales percentage looking pretty similar to last year. So we can get this nice peak, but if it peaks, it's going to be a 30-day peak. But also the inventory that's available for these shoppers isn't the same as it was last year. Last year, they had child tax credits, right? Last year, a lot of people were getting that $300 again tax child credit. They were getting some stimulus money from the government. Gas prices were probably $1.50 cheaper. You had not a war going on, right? So this year, even though it's ramping up to be pretty similar, the IRS delaying returns, delay in shopper activity as last year, sold percentage similar to last year. It can all end up being the same. Again, couple cautious things though. It lasts about 30 days and then it starts going back down and normalizing. So anything you're buying today will be 45 and 60 days old mid-April when I showed you both the shopper activity and our dealers volume started dropping off. Okay. And then you roll that all into inflation, war, gas prices, all those other things. It's going to be way trickier this year. So really make sure you are selling these cars quick. First 30 is what we talk about. What you own today, I would make sure by March and definitely by middle of April, these things are gone. 45-day. That's that window. So it's going to be a pop. And if it is a pop, like it was last year, again, you see that 30-day window or maybe a 60 total. By the time it went up and back down to a normal or equal number. So it was about a 60-day window there. What you own today will be 60 days old, so stay on top of it. Okay, so hope this tip was helpful. We're going to be at NADA booth 4431. Stop by, see us there. If not, you also have we have our book available. Just go to workthefacts.com and you can get a copy of that book. We just got our hardback available, so we have the hardback, paperback available. Workthefacts.com. We're going to be again at NADA. At NADA, anybody who does get a demo and wants to sign up, we got $500 poker chips, okay, to hand out there, and they have the opportunity to double that by rolling the dice. We have some Lotpop dice that we're going to roll, and then to see if dealers can double that, and we're also giving dealers a chance to enter win a 90-day service of ours. So you get a chance to win 90-day, 3-month of service. You get a chance if you sign up to get at least $500 and up to $1,000 on our new Lotwalk software. So check us out. We're integrating internet leads and inventory management tools. So don't matter what inventory management tool you have. Inventory management tools would be like your vAutos, the VinQs, the Max Digitals, Dealers Link, and so forth. CRMs, we're integrating with Reynolds and Reynolds, Vin Solutions, Momentum, DriveCentric, eLeads. So we're integrating those two together so you can both manage cars and people in one tool, right? Your leads and your cars, because that's what you do every day physically. So we're doing it digitally in a digital lot walk like you do physical lot walk. Check us out, NADA. Hope this tip was helpful. Let's see where this month ends, and we'll keep you